Welcome to this brand new video, this time already the third video about my Opel Kadett E from 1987 and its restoration. Um, in the last video we did some maintenance, had a little bit of servicing done, and in this video I actually bought a few new things for the car. I bought a few new things, also repaired a few things, and yeah, basically in this video I'm going to show you all about it. So, to start off, I bought myself original OEM Opel Kadett E roof rails. As you can see here, I already opened the roof rails, and this was while they were actually being installed. They actually had to be installed with a screwdriver to be able to, just sit on the car strong enough for the winds to not just get the roof rails off. And as you can see here, it was made for the Astra, the Vauxhall Astra, and also the Kadett. So it is an original piece, which is very nice. And I'm actually very happy with it. It cost me 50 euros, but it, as I said before, is original. And in my opinion, originality of this car is actually a certain point that I want to maintain for this car. And as you can see in these pictures, it looks actually very cool in my opinion, although I'm not planning on keeping it for the rest of the year. I also bought a box from a car company that actually specializes in just getting parts off of cars, and I also got this package to which I actually had to use my book about the Opel because it was actually a clock that I actually wanted to have for a long time. So basically at this point, when I bought the car didn't have a clock, neither did it have a cigarette lighter. And this clock actually had a very big road on its way because it was 17 hours away, all the way from Latvia. So that's actually a very big journey for a small clock this size. And as you can see here, it was very easy to get the plastic piece out. Although I sadly don't have the wiring in. I'm planning on buying the wiring for the car or making it myself. This is what the clock should look like with a light. And actually seeing that the car did not have a clock or a cigarette lighter, I actually had to do some research because I was curious. And as you can see here, I couldn't find any other Club Opel advertisements, but I'm guessing that actually the car looked like this on the inside. As you can see, it does not have a radio and also not a cigarette lighter. So I'm actually planning and thinking that this is what the car should look like when it was bought new. I'm actually also thinking about that the car didn't even have a radio in it when it was bought because of the placement of the antenna. The antenna is placed directly near the roof, on the roof, near the glass roof. And Opel actually used to get the antenna on the right side if you're sitting in the passenger seat or in the driver's seat, on the right side of the bonnet or the hood, whatever you want to call it. And that is why I'm actually thinking that this radio wasn't there, and basically any radio wasn't in when this car was bought new, because later I also found a brochure of the radio which indicated that it was from mid 1990s, which meant that it was at least 7 years after the car was bought. So this is my somewhat, it could also be wrong, but this is my somewhat conspiracy theory about the car. And besides this, I also got a new package, and I'm actually going to unbox it. It is a very, in my opinion, unique detail of the car. They are actually holders. As you can see, it isn't actually the right color of the car's interior, but it is a holder for the interior parts of the car. And as you can see, they were very dirty, so I had to clean them off. I don't even know how long they were lying where I bought them from, but there was such a big pile of dirt on it that even when I just used some water to clean it up, a whole puddle of dirty water just got there. And later I used a degreaser because yeah, a degreaser basically always works, and let it sit for a few minutes. And after that I used a not really soft brush but a somewhat already hard brush to get the excess debris off. As you can see here, you can really see this, a puddle of mud somewhat starting to form. And after that I already wanted to install them because I actually find them very easy to install and also very useful in the car, because some compartments are very easy to and also very comfortable to have, to be able to reach in and out easily. And for this I used some pictures of Opel's Kadett that had this part installed, so that I know that the placement of the part on the door panel is actually correct, and that it is also just somewhat a original part and also a original part placement. As you can see here, the installing of the part was actually very easy. I just had to place it where I wanted it to be placed, and I had to measure it also a bit. And then it was just actually a part of just installing it with a few screws, making sure that the part on the left door or the passenger door and as well as the driver's door were both equally placed, so that you don't have any problems with that as well. And basically after that, yeah, as I said before, it was easy just screwing it in so that it actually held itself to the door. Underneath you also had a few screws. Those were somewhat harder to reach because yeah, the door panel is 38 years old and it doesn't really stick that well to it. So this had to be done a few times. I actually eventually made the decision to just only use one part of the underneath of the door panel, because the other two um, parts that could be used on the under part of just the holder um, caused the door panel to eventually get gapped and also not align that well. So that was also a somewhat decision of me to make, that I wanted it to fit as well as possible. And actually, it fits very good in my opinion, with only 3 of the 5 screws. I later also bought these Recaro floor mats because the floor mats of the interior actually deteriorated a bit. These were universal, and later I actually found out that these sadly didn't fit that well in my car, as well as the driver's floor mat I already don't use because of friction it has, and yeah, I also bought mud flaps of the front side of the car, and the front side on itself were very hard to find. I got myself rear mud flaps, but the front mud flaps were actually harder to find, because there was only one set available on sale, and it was 100 something euros. And I really want the car to be original, but 100 euros for 4 mud flaps was just too much for me. I got the rear mud flaps for like 30 something euros, and these front mud flaps are also universal, and in my opinion they actually look a lot like the front mud flaps Opel actually delivered in the 1980s on their cars. And also if you look at the Opel Kadett Club brochure, you can also see that these ones also have mud flaps, and yeah, they somewhat just give me a good indication of a car that had basically all the added options on it. It looks great. Although these cars actually on the brochure also have headlight washers, which at this point I'm not really planning on installing. Basically, because of the wiring of the car, I do not want to mess with it too much. And since I already am planning on adding a clock, um, I'm also being considerate with the part that also the wiring of the car already is 38 years old. Then another part of the interior which actually started to deteriorate was the interior dome light. This is actually a somewhat fact of the Kadett, as my previous Kadett also had a interior light that was just deteriorating. And in first case, I wanted, as you can see here, make it my own for just temporarily. But later I actually used ChatGPT to see where I could get it from, because on sale they weren't there weren't many options of them on sale, and the options that were there basically advertised them as only Kadett or just universal, and I didn't want anything universal because that most of the time just causes problems. Um, and eventually, ChatGPT easily said to me, well, you don't even have to buy one specifically for the Kadett because they are either priced a bit high, but you also have units of them in the Opel Astra G, the Opel Corsa B, and also the Opel Tigra A. So you had three models that used the same interior dome light. And as you can see here on the junkyard, I got to a Opel Astra G and I took the interior dome light out. And to my surprise, it was the exact same. As you can see here, I got it out of the Kadett and it fits perfectly. It looks brand new, so that's nice. It works perfectly as well. So that's nice that that works. And basically, this was the update video of this part. It was a bit longer and it also took a bit longer than usual to make this episode. But future videos will definitely come soon, as I'm actually soon heading over to a car meeting, which I'm very excited for. So this was the end of this episode. Please consider becoming a member on my channel or sending a super thanks on this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out my Opel Kadett playlist, but also this playlist to which I talk about various models in depth. So if you're interested in that as well, please head over and check it out. And I will see you in the next video.